Yeah, yep.
Okay. Where are you right now?
I'm at work.
You're working. Okay, that's right. You're halfway around the world, so you're busy working right now, man.
Yes.
All right, very
Just in the
cool.
truck.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see you digging post holes all the time. What is your favorite way of doing that?
So we have it's a like a motorized post hole digger.
Okay.
Has a little auger on it. So yeah, we just get that started, a little two stroke, and get stuck into them.
Very cool, man.
Nice and easy. Yeah, good digging where we are. So the ground's nice and soft.
I was going to ask, do you have a lot of rocks? Because I know where I came from in New England, there was tons of rocks in New England.
Yeah, yeah. Well, where I'm living now, I've been here for about 4 years. But where I used to live in Victoria, it was really bad, very rocky and clay, and yeah,
Okay.
yes,
Wow. So that's super cool. So you're looking at summer coming around.
yes. It's spring at the moment, but the weather's been pretty ordinary. Today's a bit overcast, but at least it's a bit muggy. So, but it's been really wet here. We've had big floods in Victoria. It's yeah, a bit further up north. It's really bad at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, we haven't had
Yeah,
rain. We haven't had rain in Texas for like 2 years now.
fair dinkum.
Yeah,
Bloody hell.
we're dying for rain right now.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to go to Texas one day.
You should come. It's an amazing place. It's very unique. We don't
Yeah,
have we don't have kangaroos, but
we don't.
we have every type of deer you could possibly imagine. They've
Yeah,
imported
I can
deer from
imagine.
around the world. We have deer from India. We have deer from Africa. We have all kinds of wild animals over here that run amok.
Jeez.
Yeah, yeah. For
Yeah,
some reason, back 100 years ago, they were allowed to bring whatever they wanted. So people
yeah,
brought the most bizarre things and let them go. So there's everything
yeah,
you can imagine.
yeah. I can. Jeez.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a bit like that here, actually. Yeah, got a few animals that are bloody pests. We've got deer here, and they're a bit of a pest for some people. The deer.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, do they have
and the
any natural
kangaroos make them. So
predators? Yeah, do they have any natural predators?
yeah, we've got like bloody shitloads of snakes. We've got
Okay.
the brown snake. That's were you talking about as in animals or
Yeah, yeah.
people?
I'm just the animals that kill those animals so they don't get out of control.
Oh yeah, no. Well, they got blokes to go around and shoot them. I think.
Okay.
Yeah, just just to cull them a bit.
All right,
But
fair enough.
I don't where I am. I don't see any deer, but more in the bush. There's a lot of them.
Okay. Now,
Yeah.
Australia is mostly desert, is it not?
No, no. Yeah, well, I guess in the middle of Australia, it's sort of all desert there,
Okay.
and then where I am, it's not really desert.
Okay.
So more so Central Australia.
Yeah, because
Yeah, and
The East Coast is supposed to be the beautiful side where everybody lives. And the way I
yeah. So you
remember,
got you. Yeah, go on.
no, I just when I was in school, I remember them saying the other half was all desert.
Yeah, nah. So you got the east coast. Up top, it's Queensland, quite tropical. Comes down, that's all nice. Then you sort of got in the middle. You got South Australia, and then the Northern Territory, which is sort of I don't know if you've heard of Uluru or Ayers Rock, a big
Okay.
massive rock. It's all desert in there. And then on the west, that's it's a bit up the top. It's a bit deserty, and then comes down to sort of normal,
Okay.
just yeah, cities and stuff like that.
Now,
Yeah.
I have a question. Do you talk to a lot of Americans?
Well, I have been lately. So I jumped on TikTok,
Okay.
and so we sort of, I guess, message. A lot of Americans comment. I also, because I'm in the fencing game, I watch some of the fencers in America have like podcasts and
Yeah.
YouTube channels. So I watch a lot of that. But so I guess I've been talking to more Americans than I have, in the last year.
Because
Yeah.
I think of Mel Gibson and like as soon as I hear your accent, I immediately go to what is it, the Thunderdome or whatever it was.
Yeah, yeah,
What was the
yeah.
movie? What
Mad
was the
Max
movie?
Beyond
Mad Max. Yeah, Mad
Mad
Max.
Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Specifically the one from the '80s. So I'm not
Yeah,
gonna lie to
yeah.
you. For some reason, I immediately go there, and I think it's just like wild fights and Cars, yeah, just can't help it. As an American, that was the iconic movie, especially when I was a kid.
Yeah.
That was an
Oh yeah,
iconic
great
movie,
movie.
man. Yeah.
Have you seen the first one?
All the original ones.
Max
I
number one.
saw, yes, I saw
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
original ones. And the first
yeah.
one, they were in real world time. It didn't. The end of the world didn't happen yet right away. He was a cop.
That's
And
right.
that was a wild movie, man. That was the first
That was
Doomsday.
brutal.
Yeah. I was like, wow, can you imagine if that happened here? And I'm like, no, I can't. It's got to stay in Australia. It's just got to stay there. Because it looked
I think with
brutal.
there was I don't know if it's true or not, but in that first one they had that motorbike gang. At the end, the leader gets killed by the truck. He's going across a bridge, and a truck or something cleans him up. And there was a rumor going around that one of the guys did actually die in one of the stuntmen
Oh,
in
no
that
kidding.
movie, but I'm not sure how
Wow.
true it is. Yeah, yeah. But
I'll,
that's a
I'll,
great movie. That.
Yeah, it's a great movie, and that was back late '70s, early '80s, where people
Yeah.
were way tougher, man. They would take a whooping, and oops, this guy accidentally died. Let's get another one. There's got to be another guy. Bring him in.
But in saying that, and talking about toughness, the what about Yellowstone? You been watching that?
I've never watched it. I've never watched it.
What?
Yeah, I know. I
Mate,
think I'm
you
the
gotta
last.
watch
I
it.
think I'm the last guy alive that hasn't watched it yet.
Ah, talk about tough.
Yeah,
Jeez.
yeah. They talk some
Are
brutal
you?
stuff, and I think that's.
Oh,
Is that based in Texas? I think that might be based in Texas.
yeah. So is Yellowstone? There is a place called Yellowstone, isn't there? Is that in
Yes, but that's
Texas
in
or?
no, that's in Wyoming. That's a little bit northwest of
Okay,
us,
yep.
going towards
But they,
California.
yeah, okay, yep. But the guy that makes it, that Taylor Sheridan, I think he bought the Four Sixes Ranch, and they do a lot of the filming there. I think,
I
from
believe it.
memory.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
everybody I work with loves the movie. I'm the only guy
Uh,
left. I'm one of those
no, you got to
guys.
get on it.
Yeah, I
You got to
gotta
get
go.
on it.
Well, you know what? The great thing with not watching it when it first comes out is now I can binge watch what everybody's been waiting for.
100%.
Yeah, yeah. So I think
I
that's
think they got
actually
the
a win.
fifth season.
Oh,
Yeah,
are they
fifth
really? Has it
season's
been that
out the drop.
long? Has it been that long?
Yes.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Then I made a great choice. So now I'm gonna just
Yes.
watch it all in one shot.
Yes. Everyone in Australia loves it. It's huge over here.
Yeah.
Great
Well,
show.
yeah. Hey, a good show's a good show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I do want to do the podcast for a couple minutes.
Yes.
I used to do construction with my dad, and
Hi.
when we mostly did siding and roofing.
Hmm.
But we did some post holes every once in a while. We did some fences once in a while. Do you guys ever hit ledge where you go 2 feet down and auger's done? You try to hit it with the post, you try to hit it with a shovel, and you're just stuck.
Yeah, so not so much here where I am. Where I used to live, it used to happen a bit. There were some places that apparently, thousands of years ago, it's like a volcano or something went through, and it's all that volcanic rock. And there's been jobs where I've had to get the rocks blown up
Wow.
because, like you said, you go down maybe a foot and you just hit solid volcanic rock and you just can't get it out. But I'm lucky where I am. I do a lot of new estates, and I'm not far from the beach, so there's a lot of fill here, and it's pretty good digging. So yeah, I'm lucky here,
Nice.
but it does happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what we would do
it
is
just destroys your soul that when you hit rock.
yeah. And you're like, okay, well, let's go to the next hole, and the same thing happens again. So now you're 3 holes in, you're 15 feet away, you finally get a good one. You're like, okay, finally.
Yes.
All right, let's kill this real quick so I can have lunch. We're going to figure these out later. And I'll be honest with you, there's been times where we can only go down a foot, and we just make the hole as wide as we could and make a big, like a slab almost, because we didn't have the luxury of blowing anything up. A house was right next to the fence. There's no blowing anything up. So we would just make it wider. And we try to get like a steel rod in or something else that we can,
Like Dynabolt. I have seen guys Dynabolt, brackets to the rock.
Yeah, have you ever
and
seen
fix
those?
it
I've
to the
seen
post.
I've seen a post where it's got a metal piece built into the post, and they just jam it in there. And yes. Do you use those?
Well, I haven't had to. I haven't had to, but it does. Some guys have used them around here.
So you got the perfect ground, and you got an auger. So man, why wouldn't you be a fence guy?
But saying that, we're digging holes today, and I bet you once I'm finished with you, I'll bloody hit rock. I bet you.
And you'll be thinking about me the whole time. That's
Yeah.
great. You're like that son of a gun. He jinxed me.
Yes.
So are you in a truck right now, or are you in a backhoe?
I'm in a truck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, just in my truck.
Because I know there's some
I was going to
guys.
go out. Yeah, yeah. So one of the guys that's working with me, he's just chucking some posts in the ground now,
Okay.
and then he's about to start digging the other side.
How many guys you have
So
working for you?
so there's two of us on the tools. Um, Probably going to have a third one starting soon. And then my partner, she sort of usually answers all the calls and does the scheduling.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's very
So
convenient to have someone help you with that.
it is, it is. I was going to say, when you're working and then your phone's ringing flat out, you miss a lot of calls, and
Yeah.
and then by the time you knock off, you forget to call them back. So it's good to have someone answering the phones and just scheduling. It's a bit of a load off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a lucky man.
Yes.
So is that your wife, or is it just a worker?
My partner,
Your partner. Okay.
girlfriend.
Girlfriend. She's a good girlfriend, man. She's making your life way easier. Because nothing beats
She
doing your
is.
job and worrying about your job, and having someone else
Exactly.
worry about everything else, man.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so what made you start doing the TikToks and the Instagram? What made you say I'm going to start doing videos?
Um, so Instagram was first, but I wasn't sort of heavily into it. It's just it seems like everyone's using that. It's sort of a bit of a way to market your business.
Yeah.
But I was pretty slack on the Instagram, and then got onto TikTok maybe, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago or something, and we thought, we might do a video and see how it goes, and it went all right, and we sort of enjoy doing it, and we do a lot of live videos when we're at work, and it's funny. People find fascinating,
Yeah.
you're videoing yourself at work, and people find that fascinating and ask a lot of questions, and so it's a good way to connect with people as long as we're getting the work done. But also, you learn a lot of new things as well, just off other guys from other countries or other states. So yeah,
It's amazing how the world has changed, huh?
oh yeah, yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's funny. My dad, he's Italian, and so he had family in Italy. And a few years ago, at Christmas time, I was on Messenger on Facebook, and I said, "Dad, come here. I'll call our cousins." And he's sort of looking at it, going, "What do you mean?" And next thing, my cousin's up on the screen, and he couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Because he's a bit older, and yeah, it's amazing how things are now.
It is. And I'll be honest with you, people are so intrigued to see a regular job that they've never done.
Yeah.
What I think it is we loved reality TV, but we're tired of
Yep.
the fake version. We want the real
Yes.
version. We want your
Yeah.
moment. We want your moment right now. I want to see you drop the
Yeah.
ladder. I want to see you bust your toenail. I want to see you, you know what I mean? I want to see you hit your thumb with the hammer. And I want to see that
Yes.
genuine moment. And there's another thing too that I like about it too, and I think it's getting really big really fast, is a lot of the construction workers, they'll take their time to stop and they'll say, okay, this is how you do the runners on a staircase. And they take the 10 minutes and they teach you how to do the height and rise.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
so fascinating to watch algebra go into real world practical use right now.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I get to see it from a regular guy that lives down the street.
Yep.
What
Yep.
more reality can you ask for?
I know, right? Yeah. It is, and it's good how the guys do that. It's you learn so much. Even like I've been fencing now for around 17 years or something, and we build fences, and Americans build them. We build fences different than some people in Australia, Northern Australia, and so you can learn so much, and just little tricks. After doing it for so long, you're still learning. It's that's what I love about it.
There's another
Yeah.
thing too. When you start talking to other people, you start realizing people appreciate what you're doing.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nothing's better than knowing that you're appreciated for doing something that's
yeah,
hard, man. You're in the sun all day, and
yeah,
your neck is burnt. You're tired. You smell like sweat. You smell like
yeah,
outside, and there's a satisfaction in working hard and knowing that someone appreciates it.
yeah. There is, there is. It's yeah. No, I enjoy it. I really the guy that works with me, he's fully addicted to the TikToks now. So when we've got something where we don't need two of us, he'll jump on the camera. He'll talk to, answer all the questions and just
That's great.
talk to the guys commenting, and just video me doing whatever. And yeah, we look forward to it every day. Do it for 40 minutes, an hour, sometimes 2 hours.
Yeah,
It's yeah, it's a lot of fun instead of just busting your ass all day.
good
Breaks it
deal.
up a bit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So, how many followers do you have?
I think I have a touch over 2,500. I think.
That's awesome. Okay.
Um, yeah, there's a couple of guys. There's one in America. I think he's got about 120,000 followers or something like that.
That's
He's
where
he's
you want to
from
be.
yeah, he's in South Carolina, and yeah, he's good. What's he called? The fence guru? Not that's me. What's he called?
Yeah,
The fence guru.
that's fantastic.
Fencilla. He's called
Oh,
Fencilla, and he does some good stuff.
good deal. I've never seen that one. Okay, I'll have to check him out, man.
Yes.
But yeah, man,
Yeah.
the more you do it, the more people start following because everybody enjoys it. And before you know
Yeah.
it, you got yourself a little side business
Yeah, exactly.
doing
Yeah.
what you actually
Yeah.
do, anyways.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. Are you on TikTok?
No, I'm actually starting the videos now so I can do the TikToks because I was just doing audio and it doesn't catch as well as video. So I got a camera to the side of me, I have the camera in front of me, and I've got you. So I'm going to use all three of them, and I'm going to start doing TikToks and YouTube and Instagram. I'm going to do it all, man. I'm going to
Yeah.
follow. I'm going to follow in you guys' footsteps, man.
Yes. So what do you do for like full-time work?
Okay, I work for the federal government. I've been there for 11 years. I got my 10-year pin like 6 months ago. But before that, when the economy was still good during George Bush, I used to work for my father. Me and him did siding, windows, and decks. But a lot of the guys that would dig like the holes for the decks, they would use like a
Yep.
backhoe, and they had an attachment, and they go brrrr, and
Yeah.
just drill a big hole, put the sonic tube in, and they just drop off all the lumber, and we would do the deck all by ourselves after we were done with the
Nice.
siding. Because we just did new homes. We just did new homes.
Yep.
It was a very
Yeah.
convenient
Yep.
job, man. Very convenient. We made good
Yeah.
money.
Yeah. I was going to say there is good money in that. There's
Unf-
a lot of the Americans. They do have the dingoes and the you can jump on the back of them and they just drill the holes, the little
yeah,
machines.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very
But yeah,
convenient.
that'd be good doing decks. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh
For
yeah. Well,
sure.
the developer that would pay for the house, he would buy all the material. We would just get $1.75 a foot or whatever it was, and if it was higher, we get like $2 or $3 a foot, and we just slap the deck together. Go to the next house right next door, do the roof, do the siding, do the deck. Get to the next
Yeah.
house and one house after another, man. We do it all summer.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be good. That's the thing I've noticed in America is that a lot of trades do more than one thing. So, like over here, we have roofers; they just do roofs, fences. I guess some fences do a little bit of landscaping.
Yeah.
The carpenters they sort of do their decks and frames and that for houses. But I did notice in America, especially the roofers, they do sort of more than one thing. Yeah.
Well, if you
So
can,
you were
you
doing decks and roofs.
well, roofing, siding, and decks. But my father
Uh,
wasn't afraid to do a kitchen. He wasn't afraid to remodel a bathroom. He wasn't afraid to do tiling. We finished basements for some guys. The more you diversify, the better chances of you making more money. But here's the deal: we got greedy and we got lazy. And at the end, before the economy collapsed, we were
yeah.
only doing vinyl siding for
Oh,
one
really?
developer. So when that developer stopped building houses and he stopped doing the foundations, there was no more work and our name wasn't out there anymore. If we would have kept on going like we were at the beginning and doing everything, we would have still had our name out with other stuff. And we could have been doing kitchens, and it didn't work out that way.
Yeah. So what happened? You just closed up after that?
Well, my father would do little side jobs, and I would do some side jobs too. And I lasted about a year or two, and I did really good with a couple window jobs. And you make money for a month, and you're good.
Yep.
And so a lot of the old houses we did, some guys would put their grill right up against the house and melt the siding.
Yeah.
So I'd make a couple $100 fixing that, or there'd be little odds and ends things that were like tied into what we used to do, but it didn't last. After a while, I had to find I got 6 kids. I got to feed everybody. I got to make sure that I've got steady pay. Federal government pays very good. They never stop paying. They pay every other week, no matter what. Yeah,
that's what you want.
Yeah. So
I was gonna say, I listened to one of your other podcasts. Sorry, I got a bloody mozzie, a mosquito. I listened to one of your other podcasts, and I heard you say you got a fair few kids.
Yeah, man, I got 6 of them. That's where I got the Padre from. That's where I got Padre from.
I was talking to my mate, and we were working out. We're saying, "Do you like a master or something like that?" And thinking, "No, I'm pretty sure he's got a lot of kids, so maybe the Padre come from that." So I was right.
Yeah. Well, okay. So here's how it goes. It's just me and the 6 kids. I don't have a wife. So we go back and we tease each other all the time. We're really, we're pretty bad. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm constantly teasing them. They're teasing me. Well, one of them was learning Spanish. Figured out that Dad's Padre. So they never let that go. I became Padre immediately. So when we'd sit down to dinner as a family, they would be like, "Oh, Dad's about to lecture us again. Let's hear Dad's perspective." And then it was Padre's perspective. And then everybody would be quiet and they would just listen to me. And I would go and do my rant and I'd tell them my story. And then are you done? Okay, Padre's done. We could go back to normal again. So I thought it'd be funny to make, they were teasing me. So I turned it on them and I turned it into a podcast.
Perfect. Yeah. So how do you, what's the age?
My oldest daughter, I got 5 daughters and a son. My oldest daughters...
So you got one.
Took 6 tries, man. It took 6 tries.
Yes.
Oof. My oldest daughter's 20. So my oldest daughter's 20, 14, 12, 10, 8. And my son is 6 years old.
Bloody hell.
Yeah.
That's hard. It's that'll keep you on your toes.
Yeah. So I was doing 2 of these a day. And I think I'm going to go down to 1 a day. It's just the editing, all the work that's involved. And I don't want to neglect anybody. I love my kids. I want to spend time with them. So I'm just going to go do these once a day. And that's going to be it. I think I even found a guy to help me with the editing. So I don't even have to worry about this after I'm done. And then maybe I could just have more fun with the kids.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it'd be a lot of time, wouldn't it? I've got 2 girls, and I don't have a wife either. And so it's I've got like week on, week off, and it's even just 2. It's a lot of work and time. So
and girls,
6.
Man, thank God I got my dude. Well, you know what, though? I was blessed. I'm glad my first is a girl because she helps me so much with everything. She cooked dinner today. She does so much, man.
That's I mean, you'd need them to chip in, wouldn't you? Can't do everything yourself.
It's impossible. Good. Yeah, it's impossible. I've tried. I'm a terrible cook.
Yeah.
if it ain't outside in the grill, I ain't doing it.
Yeah. You're famous for your outside grills.
Yes, especially in Texas. In Texas, yeah.
Yes.
So I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not a professional. There's guys out here that can grill circles around most men, and I'm not that guy.
Yeah. They take it pretty seriously.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you kidding me? Oh, yeah. That's bigger. It's bigger than football.
Yes. Do you still, if you go to a football game or a college game, what do you call it when you go in the car park? Tailgating?
Tailgating. That's when
And
you
get
bring
you
you
get your
bring the grill
barbecue.
with you. You bring the grill with you, and you bring the beer with you, and you get hammered
Yes.
drunk and eat as much meat as you can before you get out in the ballpark and see everybody beat the crap out of each other.
It's so one of my good mates, he lived in Austin for a year, and he went to, I think it was a LSU game, and did the tailgating. He said they got there pretty early in the morning, and by the time the game started, he said everyone was just slaughtered, like
Slaughter.
pissed, and yeah.
Yes, yes. As they should. As they should.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I'd love to experience that.
You got to come to America, man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And you can go
No
anywhere.
cards. We'll do it
And
one
you,
day.
yeah, you can go anywhere. You can go to Boston. You can go to L.A. You can go to New York. You can go to Miami. It doesn't matter where you go. Come to Texas. Go to the middle of the country. They're all playing
Yeah,
football. They're all getting drunk.
it's. I like it. It'll be
Yeah,
a good atmosphere.
yeah.
Yes,
And everybody's very. There's a lot of camaraderie too. You know,
I like that.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
so over here where I am in Victoria. I don't know if the camera's bloody shaking around or not. In Victoria, we have Australian rules football, and so you get like there's two good teams playing. You might get 80 or 90,000 people there, but we go to the pub beforehand and
Nice,
have a few, and then then go to the ground. We're not in the car parks here.
nice. Okay.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
used to go to a Boston Red Sox game with my whole family when I was a kid. And
yep,
that old city has a ton of bars all the way across the whole outskirt of the ballpark. And
yeah,
tons of people do that. They'll hit the pubs, then they go to the game. Because baseball, they don't
yeah,
tailgate with baseball. They only tailgate with
yeah,
football. So
yeah.
a lot of people do
Because I
that.
think is that the ground, or yeah, is that the ground? The Red Sox, is that sort of in the middle of the city? Their ground,
Right in
like
the middle. Right in the
because
middle of the city.
yeah, it didn't look like. Was that the one? Have you seen what's that movie with Brad Pitt from? And he was
Oh,
the
Moneyball. Or Money.
yeah,
Yeah.
Moneyball. And I think he get an offer from the Red Sox
I
after
don't.
that season. It
Maybe.
was
It
one of
was.
those
It was.
teams, and he went there.
Yeah, if I remember the story correctly, it was the crappiest team in America with the lowest
Yep.
budget, and they found all the most common guys that had the highest statistical odds, and they actually beat
Yes.
the Yankees to win the
Yes.
World Series. One of the
Unbelievable.
most expensive teams in the world. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, that's a famous
Unreal, isn't it?
story. Yeah, it's a famous story. But that wasn't even. That was like a no-name team. That was like somewhere in the middle of the country. I'm trying to think of who it was.
Oakland. That was Oakland, I think. The Oakland A's.
Was it
Is that
Oakland?
right? That's where he was from, I think. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. I'm pretty sure
okay.
they didn't have a high budget, but
No, it was
he got offered a job because they did so well. He got offered a job off one of the big clubs. I thought it was the Red Sox,
it could have
and he
been.
went to visit the ground, and the ground just looked like it was in the middle of the city. Like, didn't look like there was any parking or
No.
anything. Like, do you guys catch public transport there? And then
Yes. So I,
yeah,
I grew up. I grew up in Connecticut, and the subway in Massachusetts, or the train in Massachusetts, is called the T train. And
okay,
we would catch that like 15, 20 miles out of the city.
yeah,
Park the car outside the city, and just walk everywhere. This was before
yes,
Uber. This was before all that
yeah,
stuff. And you just take the train wherever you can and walk wherever you have to. And we'd spend the whole
yeah.
weekend out there. We'd have a blast as a
Oh,
family.
really?
Oh yeah, we'd
Yeah,
go to the children's museum. We would go. Oh, I love that more than anything else I ever did.
yeah. Good memories.
It was a cool memory because I did that about 30 times
Yeah.
with my family.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Nah, that's fun.
I miss it.
It's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
So what's the big
Are you
sport? What's the big sport in Australia?
the big sport here is so in Victoria, South Australia, and Western Australia, it's all AFL,
Okay.
Aussie rules football, and cricket. I don't know if you've heard of cricket.
Yeah, it's like baseball. Kind of,
Yeah.
kind of.
And then up north, it's rugby league.
Nice.
They're big on that. But yeah, Aussie rules is probably the biggest in Australia. I think
Okay.
it's like got people that follow. It's like a religion. It's,
Nice.
you
Yeah.
play it on the weekend, then you get to work on the Monday, and you're talking about it and doing your tips and your fantasy team and all that sort of stuff. And yeah,
Fantastic.
it's
Yeah.
massive.
Yeah. That's huge, man.
Yeah,
That's cool.
and so Aussie rules. Um, they don't wear pads or anything, but they have some big hits and that. So I've watched like on YouTube, when people watch it for the first time and you get to see their response with some of the hits and that, they're shocked. It's
Shocked.
a tough
I'll,
game.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have to look at it. Aussie rules.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Definitely.
So is it
Yeah.
more like
Very
rugby?
athletic.
Is it more like rugby or is it more like soccer?
It's probably more like rugby, but
Okay.
they kick the ball a lot. So we've got there's quite a few Australian kickers in the college football now because that have come from AFL because they're always kicking. So there was I don't know if you know much about your college football.
Yeah, here in the States, yeah, I watch that occasionally, yeah.
There was so I in AFL I broke for a team called Richmond, and one of our players retired and went over to it's in California. The team that Snoop follows, the college team. Who's that?
ASU, Berkeley, trying to
Something
think.
California State or something.
Okay, California State, okay. That sounds
Yeah,
about
yeah.
right. That sounds about right. There's a
So
bunch of them. That's a
he
big state, man. That's a really big state. I think it's
it
bigger than
is. Yeah.
Texas, yeah. So there's
Is it
all
really?
kinds. Oh, yeah, it's bigger than Texas.
Wow. Well, this guy, he went over there and started playing for that college team, and I think he did his 3 years or something like that, and he did really well there. And then just on the weekend, there was an Australian guy. His dad played football here. He was a kicker, and he kicked it the whole length of the ground. It was like 80 something yards or something. Just on the
Nice.
weekend, I think he did it. Yeah, yeah. So a lot of
Wow.
Australians heading over to do the college football thing. So it's similar to that, but a lot more kicking in our game.
That's super cool. That,
Yeah, yeah,
that's a skill in of itself to be able to do 80 yards is no joke.
yeah. No, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
All the Americans are going nuts over it.
I didn't know that, man. I'll have to check that out.
It's all good.
This is great, man. I am so glad. I thought I talk to so many guys that I forget who I'm talking to. So I look at you on Instagram real quick and I'm trying to check what you're doing. And I think I
Yeah.
talked to another fence guy from Canada. And then your voice
Oh
came
yeah.
out and I was like, oh shit, this guy's English. And
English.
then you're like, you're Australian. I had no idea.
A lot of nationalities get us mixed up with New Zealanders. We
Okay.
sound the same as New Zealand.
Yeah, that makes
And then,
sense.
of course, you have the Irish and the Scottish. They all sound the same.
Okay.
Americans and the Canadians.
So I have a question.
Yep.
Do you guys actually drink Foster's beer?
No, not much anymore. It's hard to get. You don't
Okay.
really see it around anymore.
No,
Back in
yeah.
the 80s.
Okay,
Back in
because
the
I
80s,
remember the
everyone used to
commercials. I
drink
remember the
Foster's.
commercials.
Yes. Yep.
Foster's
Yep.
Australian full beer.
Yeah. Now
I,
down here where I am, you get it's called VB Victoria Bitter. So
okay.
that and Carlton Draft are pretty popular. And now a lot of the Japanese beers, everyone gets on them a fair bit. And do you
Who?
drink?
I do, but I didn't know there was even such a thing as Japanese beer.
Really? You
Ah,
want to try it? It's Asahi and Sapporo, good beers. Got to
okay.
try them.
Yeah, I'll have to try it, man.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
why would there be Japanese beer in Australia? Just out of curiosity, how do they import that?
So we have like big bottle shops. They're called Dan Murphy's, where you'll drive and walk in, and they're massive, alcohol everywhere. And I don't know, they've just become big. A lot of the overseas beers, and yeah, a lot of those fruit beers and that as well. I can't remember what they call them now, but one of my mates, he brews his own beer, and
Nice.
now he won't touch anything else from the bottle shop. He just brews his own.
That's awesome.
So
That's a fun craft.
Yes, I know. A lot of people are passionate about it.
Yeah.
A lot of people doing it. Yeah.
I had a
But
cousin. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to say that the drinking culture in Australia is pretty big.
Okay.
It's yeah, a lot of people drink.
I had a cousin. During his wedding, he made beer as a favor for all the tables. And not only,
Fair dinkum.
yeah, not only did he make his own beer, but he had labels printed out with
Really?
him and his wife on it. So when you took the beer home, you had to look at him and his wife's face. I thought my
Well,
cousin. That was, yeah, it was a good one.
it's when like a lot of people brew their own beers, usually the percentage of the alcohol is a lot higher. So
Yes.
yeah, it'd probably knock you off your feet too.
It was years ago. I don't remember anymore. I believe it was good, but it had to be almost 15 years ago.
Oh wow, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so I don't
Good
know.
idea.
Yeah,
Good idea.
yeah. He had me. He had me. I brought it home.
Yes. Good. I mean, yeah,
How much time do I have? If you want to talk more, we can talk more, or we can sign
yeah. I'm
off.
easy.
You're easy. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
I'm
All right.
easy. Yeah.
So in about 2 minutes, it's going to cut off. I'll send you another code, and we'll finish this
Yeah.
up on the
Okay.
next one.
Yeah, sounds good.
So, what made you start with fencing? Why not concrete work? Why not steps? Why not like roofing? What made you go
Yeah.
for all that fencing?
So I left school when I was 16 and got some labouring work, and then I got an apprenticeship as a plumber. Do you call them plumbers over there?
Yeah,
Plumbers.
yeah,
Yep. And the plumbing, so that's a 4 year apprenticeship. I did that, but I just didn't enjoy it. So when I finished the 4 years, one of my mates was a fencer and I didn't know what I was going to do. So I said to my mate, "Can I come and give you a hand?" And he said, "Yeah, no worries." And I liked it was hard work, but I liked we're outside. You could sort of go at your own pace. We also had a bit of fun. So I worked with him for a couple of years, and then I got a job, a union job, working in the city, and that was really good.
yeah.
But what happened was when a big job would finish, you might be out of work for a few months until the next job starts, and that happened at Christmas time. Just before Christmas, I got put off. My wife at the time, she was pregnant with our first daughter, and it was fucking stressful. It was, like what, because no one's putting people on just before Christmas or just after Christmas. So I got back into the fencing and sort of thought I enjoy it. I'm going to stick at it, and if I don't have any work, that's on me. That's my fault. And just been going ever since. So
That's a great story, man. Who would have thought you'd go
yeah,
from
yeah,
plumbing to
I
union
know.
to fencing and then back to fencing all over again?
Yeah, I know. It has a day, it has its days like any job where
Yeah.
it gives you the shits, you're over it. But the majority of the time I enjoy it. So it's going well and pays the bills. So
There you
yeah,
go. And you're
yeah,
your own
yeah.
boss, and
So,
you can't. I'm
yeah,
talking. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. One of the coolest things about doing this is I talk to different guys every day from all
yeah,
over. I
yeah,
talked to a guy from England last week. I talked to a bunch of comedians. I talked to a couple
yes.
politicians. I talked to a
Oh, wow.
yeah. One guy was running for a railroad commission.
Yeah.
Actually, right now he's pushing. I think this week he gets voted in. If he makes it, I'll have an official politician on my podcast. So
How did you get onto him? Was that through your own work that you managed to get a hold of him, or
the same way I talk to all you guys, I go and
reach
I
out?
hustle. I hustle for hours, and I try to
Yeah,
find a couple guys that are willing to talk. And you've got to be
yeah,
kind of what I'm looking for. It can't be like a knucklehead or anything. I want a real
yeah,
person. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
it's every type of person you could think, and so many people have something to say.
yeah, yeah,
More than you
yeah,
think. More than you think.
yeah. I agree. I got a little bit nervous because I listened to your podcast where you interviewed the was he a life coach or something like that?
Oh yes, I
Um,
know what you're talking about.
and
Well,
you sort of challenged him a little bit, and I'm thinking, oh fuck, is he going to challenge me?
Well, here's the deal. I like him now. He's fine. But at first, I
Yeah.
thought he was a little bit of a scammer. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
So there was no
Yes.
way you're going to make me look like a fool. There's no way. So I had to make sure, because I put a lot of effort into what I do. There's no way I'm going to
Yeah.
look like an idiot. So
Yeah.
I had to tell him, I appreciate you, man. I came on a little hot, but I wanted to make sure you were the real deal. I didn't want
Yeah.
some nobody making me. You know where I'm coming from.
Yeah, it was good. It was good listening. That was like you were saying before about with TikToks and reality. It was good that you weren't just a yes man because it gets boring. You challenged him. It was entertaining.
Well, you
I liked it.
wait until you see the one next week. I got a
Yeah.
guy. Yeah, I got a guy. I think is a swindler, man. I'm gonna have to bring him back on and answer for a couple things because this guy's not doing a project and working hard and getting paid. He's taking people's 401ks, turning them into life insurance
What's
policies.
what's 401ks? What's that?
Okay, like when you have a retirement, you get paid every month.
Okay. Yeah.
But instead of
Yep.
a
Yep.
retirement, you put a little bit of your paycheck into a stock market that's kind of like a retirement, and it slowly grows over the years with the stock market. And when you retire, you should have hundreds of thousands of dollars in there. Well, this
Yep.
guy's taking that retirement money, he's putting it into a life insurance, and then allowing you the privilege of borrowing against your own money. But the catch is, he gets to keep all your interest, and he gets to keep all your fees. And I'm like, you know what? You got me. I didn't call
Yeah.
bullshit on you when you were bullshitting me, and I listened to it while I was editing it, and I'm like, motherfucker
Yeah.
got me. This fucking guy got me. So I gotta have him come back on and answer for his crimes. And I give you
Yes.
my word, when I do, I'm gonna lay into him pretty thick. Because I got a 401k, and you're not stealing from me, you're stealing from my kids.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm not going to go hungry.
Yeah.
You're going to take
Yeah.
from my kids? That's not going to. It's very predatorial. It's very vulture like.
Yeah. Yeah. Oops. Sorry. Just covering that. Yeah. It's I don't know. I'm always skeptical with that sort of stuff. I get, like I'm probably not a risk taker like that because it's happened a little bit here in Australia where people do a similar thing, and it's you just don't know if I'd take the risk for it because you're always worried about getting ripped off,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, it's
and
not
if
worth
you do,
it.
you're fucked, aren't you?
Yeah,
It's everything.
yeah, to take everything. Because that's what you're
Yeah,
relying
yeah,
on. Yeah, you're hoping you
yeah,
pay off your house, and you're hoping that money will be there. Those are two factors
yes.
you do not want to mess with.
No, no.
Ah. Big.
It's there's who's the guru guy over in America? He's a Dave Ramsey. Have
Yes.
you listened to some? Yeah, I really
Smart.
like his
Yeah, that's
podcast.
some smart
It's very
stuff, man.
clever.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, you know
Yeah.
what? I try to do the
Yeah.
same thing. I pay cash for my vehicles.
Yep.
I try to always pay cash for them. I couldn't do that with the. I couldn't do it with the house. I had to put a mortgage on the house. But
Yeah. Yeah.
who has $150,000?
Yeah. I know.
I don't. I don't have it. You know what I mean? I just don't have it. So I mean,
Yeah.
I pay a mortgage, but I like the idea of paying for as much as you can out of pocket.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, you see a lot of I follow him on Instagram or something, and a lot of the young couples that have paid off, student loan debts. Some of them are 100,000, 150,000, and some of them pay them off in like a year and a half, and just get back on their feet like debt free. It's
Isn't that
amazing.
crazy? It's amazing. It's absolutely
Oh, yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
It took me like 10
Yep.
years to pay off my student loan.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's like this in America, but over here, it's everyone wants everything now. Like whereas my parents, they wouldn't get anything if they didn't have the money, they wouldn't buy it. They'd save up for it. Whereas now everyone's getting loans for everything. They even have that what's it called, pay as you go or something like that, just to buy some clothes or something. People will use it and pay off $100, and yeah, I don't know.
It's
I don't
definitely
like it.
a bad recipe.
Yeah, yeah. And I'd imagine would a lot of like, especially if you're an older person, and you've been struggling with, the last few years have been tough financially.
Yeah.
Imagine if they're doing it and they just lose everything,
Everything.
nowhere to go. Yeah,
This dude gets a commission, and his boss gets 2% interest for the rest of the life on your retirement.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Nah, it's not good.
no. So I got to
Not
call him on
good.
it. I'm going to do that this week. Like I said, I got a lot of kids. I gotta
Yeah,
schedule it in there, so I'm gonna try to get it done this week. But I'm still
yep.
4 behind. I've got like 32 of these, and I'm only on like episode 26. So
Really?
yeah, I'm busy, man.
Geez, you have been hustling, getting people, haven't you?
Well, yeah, the problem was getting people. Then once I got them, I made another problem. I created my own problem. So
You got to do the work, got to interview them.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
they're opportunities. That's all it is. It's opportunity. Yeah.
yep, yep. Oh, that's
Well,
good.
I appreciate you,
What are
man.
you
I am
doing?
so glad that I got the chance to talk
Yeah,
to you,
same.
man. Yeah,
Likewise, likewise. It's been fun.
yeah. So
Yeah.
have you ever done a podcast before?
Never, never
Okay.
done one.
Uh,
Do you listen to the Joe Rogan podcasts?
yes.
They're good podcasts, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes at work, if I'm sick of the radio with the same old songs, I'll chuck on a Joe Rogan podcast, and because they go for bloody 2 or 3 hours, some of them.
Yeah.
So it's good to break it up. But yeah, they're a good idea. But yeah, this is my first one.
Okay.
So
Good
I
deal.
wasn't sure. I'm thinking, what's he want to talk about? I'm from Australia, and he's American,
It's even cooler. The fact that you're from Australia makes it twice as cool, man.
yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah. So have you got many other people coming up from overseas, or just more
Yes.
Americans?
Actually, I talked to people from England. Actually,
Yeah.
the guy I talked to last week that I'm going to do in a couple days, he was from France, and he'd go over to
Oh,
Germany. He'd go over to Germany and make TikToks harassing Germans, and then go back home.
really?
It is absolutely hilarious. This dude is so funny. He gets drunk in Germany, messes with a bunch of German guys, and then goes back to France.
Bloody hell!
Yeah,
How'd
he's
you go?
crazy.
Could you understand him okay with his accent, or?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, it definitely sounds like he's from France.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's good. I
Yeah.
like it.
So yeah, the world is
Yeah,
changing where you could. It doesn't matter where you're standing. We could all hang out and
yeah,
talk, man. It's super cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It is. It
So
is. It's even. I mean, during COVID, we I don't know what it was like in America, but in Australia, in Victoria here, we got locked down. It was for fucking ever. I was lucky. I was still able to go out and work, but people in the city, they were locked down. They couldn't travel any further than 5 kilometres. And in that 5 kilometres, you could only go out for maybe an hour a day for a walk. Um, it was bad. And I'd just moved here. I've been here for a couple of years or something, but didn't have a lot of friends. And still, we couldn't mingle too much because of COVID. But so me and about 5 other mates, we started doing video chats every Wednesday night. We'd have a few wines and all that sort of stuff. But it was good just to be able to see a face, have a chat. We'd chat for 3 or 4 hours, and that'd sort of get you through the week. And
yeah,
especially the boys that were down in the city that were locked up and could only travel 5 kilometres
nuts.
or kilometres, miles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was it's unbelievable. How do you guys go? Were you locked down for a
All right.
long time or?
This is gonna blow your mind.
Mm,
Here in Texas, it was totally dependent on town by town.
okay.
My town, we were locked down for like a week,
Yep.
and they just gave up.
Yeah.
We,
Everyone
I,
just kept going out anyway.
my kids never had to wear a mask, except for like a couple weeks in school. We never had to wear one in
Yeah.
Walmart. We never had to wear one in the grocery store. We never had to wear one in nowhere. We didn't have to wear one at all. As long as
Do you
we
know
stay.
what would happen? Do you know what would happen if we weren't wearing masks
I have no
down
idea.
here,
What would happen?
mate? The cops would fucking harass you, bloody lock you up. The cops were. There's so many videos of them just because everyone started having protests, and geez, they went crazy. The cops. It was brutal.
So
I couldn't believe it was Australia.
yeah, it's a shame. You guys have a beautiful country,
Yeah.
and I think it's a shame that that happened. But here in
Yeah.
America, each sheriff has a right to do whatever he wants. And the sheriff of Kerrville said, if the governor wants everybody to wear a mask, he can come and make you wear a mask. I don't have time. He said, I don't have time to make you wear a mask.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
chasing. I'm not babying anybody. If
Yeah.
Walmart calls the cops and says someone's not wearing a mask, we ain't coming.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
after about 7 days, it just went away.
And so by not wearing the masks and all that sort of stuff, did you think that the COVID spread more? Was it really bad there in Texas, or?
Everybody got COVID whether they wore a mask or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't.
Same.
If a mask would have worked, we would have cured the cold and the flu like
Yeah.
300 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
So
I agree. It's yeah.
if that
It
was
was
if that was the cure to the flu, we would have cured it 300 years ago.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
no one believes that because it's not true.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Well, we still like we don't have restrictions here anymore. But if we go to the doctors or a hospital, we still have to wear a mask.
No.
Uh,
Well, the only
unbelievable.
places we have to wear a mask is in the federal government.
Okay.
That's it.
Why? How come?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
So it's really weird, right? So I work for the federal government, right?
Yeah.
So this little piece of land, we have to pretend COVID's killing everybody. And then you clock out and you walk 10 feet and the world goes back to normal again.
I know. I
It,
know.
it is bizarre and we're still doing
It
it.
is.
And we're still doing it. I don't know. I get a paycheck so I don't ask any questions.
Yes. Yeah, 100%.
Uh,
But so when my mate that I was telling you about that was living in Austin, he came back to Australia, and then he got a green card so that he could go live in America for 8 years or something like that. Got to America. He was going to live in North Carolina, but he thought he'd stop off in Austin just to catch up with some mates that he'd met from the last time that he was living there. And he was living in a shared house, and that's when COVID hit. Now, over in Australia, it hadn't really hit us. We just thought it was like a cold sort of thing. And he called us and he said, "Fuck, I'm getting out of here. Like, this shit's getting bad." And we're like, "It's just like a cold." And he goes, "Nah, I'm fucking leaving." And said, I don't think he had any health insurance or anything like that. So he got the last plane back to Australia and just made it. And then it came to Australia. Sorry, truck going past. And then COVID came to Australia, and then that's when everything went crazy. But so yeah, that spoiled his plans. He was going to be there for
if he
7 or 8 years.
if he would have waited 1 month, everything would have went back to normal.
Jeez,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
Austin didn't last very long.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they gave up on it pretty quick too.
He really freaked out about it. He said everyone was, that were foreigners were leaving and going back to their countries, and yeah, so I
Yeah.
guess it was just the unknown. But
Yes. The first couple of weeks it was scary. It was real scary.
yeah,
So me and my daughter, we said this, right? I'm healthy. I'm 190 pounds, right? 6 feet tall, 190 pounds. I'm pretty healthy. My daughter, she's 20. She's in great shape. She's real healthy. And
yeah,
all the news stations are like, you're going to die.
yeah,
So me and my daughter, we sat down and we're like, okay, if we're going to die, then all the fat people are going to die. All the old people are going to die. Everybody's going to die. So
yeah,
we're like, is this the zombie apocalypse?
yeah,
Or are we just going to balls out? Are we going to like hunker at the house with guns and wait for the end of the world? Or are we just going to go balls out and just go live our life normal? And we chose to
yeah,
just live our life normal.
yep,
And no one stopped us.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of the Australians do admire the Americans, because you do sort of stand up for yourselves. Where in Australia, I just sort of, before COVID, I'd just go, really, it was pretty much believe whatever the government says, sort of thing. Now, my eyes have been opened, and now you're questioning things. But you guys definitely stand up and say, "No, we're not doing this. It's not happening."
Yeah.
Which we like. Yeah. What's So in Texas, you guys all have guns, yeah?
Oh yeah, I've got a couple guns. My daughter wants me to put my gun in my car all the time. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to have the gun in my car. It's illegal. I'm allowed to do it if I want. And
Can you carry it on your hip or something? Or like,
do you know what? Hold on.
around?
Okay, I'm gonna blow your mind. Do you know what the rules are to own a gun in Texas? Do you know what the rule is?
What are the rules? No.
You just need a driver's license.
Really?
That's it, man. And $180.
So there's no background checks or anything?
No, if you want to come to my house, right now, I'll sell you a gun.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to see my? Do you want to see my pistol? Well, you know what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, hold on 1 second, man. Hold on.
Yeah. To protect yourself or for hunting?
Hold on 1 second, man. Now, it's a little confusing, but every state has its own rules. Yeah. And I originally came from a state that it wasn't very friendly with guns. But I bought those guns in that state. But when I came to Texas, you don't have to have them locked up. There's no permits, there's no background checks, there's nothing. You can just sell your gun to anybody you please, whenever you please. There's almost no rules at all.
Yeah.
You have to have a valid driver's license to make sure you're a Texas citizen. And I don't think there's any more rules. You're allowed to conceal carry, like put it in your pocket and just walk around.
Yeah.
I don't recommend carrying it on your hip. See, my daughter doesn't understand, right? If I put a gun in my car, I'm not breaking the law. But if you go to rob me, I have two choices. Shoot you with a gun and go to court and explain why I shot you. And I got to sleep at night why I killed a man.
Yeah.
Or what if you take the gun from me? I don't want to be in that. I'd much rather beat the shit out of you, lose a couple teeth, and go home and have a beer.
Yeah.
And that's what I told my daughter. I was like, I love you, baby, but I don't want someone hitting me in the face with my own gun or shooting me with my own gun. What if it's two guys? Can I guarantee you I'm going to shoot both of you?
Yeah.
And what if one of you doesn't die? Now your story isn't going to match my story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got to have the nerve too. Like if it's life or death, to actually pull the trigger.
It's no joke.
I don't know what would be running through your mind. No.
Yeah, that's not a game. So for me, the guns are just in case and for fun.
Yeah.
Because what if it was one of those scenarios where we ran out of food?
Yeah.
I don't want to be the only guy. I don't want to be the only guy without a gun.
I'm not laughing at you. Just in Australia, not many people have guns.
Really?
I mean, there's guns around and that.
Yeah. I was going to say, why not?
Well, I think it was 1996 in Tasmania, we had I think it was the biggest massacre in Australia. So some guy ran around, and I'm not sure how many people he killed and wounded. It was a lot. And then after that, the government changed the gun rules where I don't think anyone can have semi-automatics or anything like that around it. You can still get a gun, but you need to have a gun license, and it's a fair bit of a process, I think, to get one. So most people don't have them unless you like hunting or something like that.
Yeah.
But so you guys get a lot of mass shootings over there, and like, do you reckon you get mass shootings or?
I mean, people shoot each other all the time.
But
here's the deal, right? This is the way I look at it. If I know you don't have a gun in your house, I will fuck you up with a knife real quick. I'm not worried about
Yeah.
anything. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
What are you going to do about
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
And here's another one, man. You go in the city, I could take out 60 people with a car. What are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
What are you going to do about it? I'm not being a jerk. That's not my point. But if
Yeah.
someone wants to take you out,
Yeah.
are you really going to... How much protection can the government really promise you?
Yeah. I guess with the, because I don't know much about guns, but with a semi-automatic, you just keep your finger on the trigger and it keeps shooting, doesn't it? Is
No,
that a
you
semi-automatic?
got to
No.
push each time. Each bullet is one pull.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. If I knock out 40 people with a van, I get out of that van and cut your head off with a knife. What are you going to do about it?
Well, that did happen in the city here in Victoria. A guy lost the plot, jumped in his car in the city, and started plowing through. Luckily, he didn't get too many people. And then now they've put up all like concrete bollards around the footpaths and that just to try and prevent that. But yeah, I know you're right. It's if someone wants to kill you,
Yeah. Well, here's the
they
deal.
can do it.
Okay, the next time you go to a concert, what if I put a bomb over there?
Yeah,
What are you going to do then?
yeah.
I mean, are they
Well,
going to stop?
you're in trouble.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Are they going to protect you from that too?
Nah, well, they
Do
they
you,
can't, can they?
here's the deal. Do you know who protects you the best?
You,
You.
you.
Don't ever let anybody take that away from you.
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
that's a bad policy.
yeah.
I think.
So, since so we haven't had a mass shooting since 1996, since they changed the laws there. So yeah, but like you said, I mean, it's like Bali, the country Bali, where they in the early 2000s they blew up a lot of bars there. There's a lot of Australians involved in that. I mean, it's like you're saying, they can do that if they want.
Yeah.
They get away with it. Yeah.
I wish
They
the
don't have
world. I
guns
wish the
enough.
world wasn't that way, but it is.
Mm.
You know.
It seems like it's getting worse too, doesn't it?
Well, here's the deal, man. I'm not going to mess with you if you're in Texas. I'm not going to mess with your daughter because if I mess with your daughter, you might come to my house and kill me with a gun.
Yeah. Yep.
So my policy would be to be polite to you because that's a far better policy than any other strategy I can come up with because I don't want you to shoot me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So everybody's got to be like, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, because that little old lady can shoot you.
Yeah. Yep. So if someone broke into your house,
I'll fucking
and
kill him. I'll kill him, and I have a
and
right to kill him.
yeah, so that's what I was going to say. So here in Australia, if someone breaks into a house and trips over and breaks their leg, they can sue us.
No, it doesn't work. Now, it works that way in Connecticut, but it doesn't work that way in Texas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Every state in America is very different. Every city in America is different.
Yeah, yeah.
You go to Austin, Texas, or San Antonio, Texas, you're not going to have the same laws.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Is that what you're saying with the sheriffs?
Yes. My town, you didn't have to wear a mask to go to Walmart. But if you went to San Antonio, you did have to wear a mask.
Yeah, right.
And that's only 40 miles away.
Yeah.
So
does that get confusing? Like if you're like where you are in Texas and you go for a drive, spend the day, and you fuck up or something, thinking that you're not fucking up and getting in big trouble, or do you all know the different laws?
I had a lady say you have to wear a mask. I said, fuck you. I got 6 kids with me. I'm not going to find 6 men. I'm not buying 6 men. I was like, fuck you. So we left. She kept harassing me. She kept coming at me. I was like, fuck it. We'll spend our money somewhere else. But I forgot. I totally forgot that you were supposed to wear a mask a couple years ago because we didn't have to wear it in our town. I don't know.
Yeah.
How am I? Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's
I haven't worn a mask for 43 years, and now it's supposed to be normal. That's not happening now.
I couldn't handle them. I couldn't breathe properly, and you'd start sweating, and It's a nightmare wearing
Such
those
a
things.
weird thought that we're all going to
Yeah.
save each other by not showing our faces like we're some kind of like cowboy vigilantes. I don't know what the hell we were thinking. Yeah,
Oh, mate.
it's
Oh, mate.
exhausting. It's
I know.
absolutely
It
exhausting.
is. Now, so now my mate that was over there, I think he also said to me that a lot of people from Texas are moving to North Carolina these days, and he said that a lot of Californians are moving to Texas. Is that right?
Texas is the fastest growing state in the country, and
Yeah.
the area where I live is the fastest area growing. Elon Musk and Joe Rogan just moved to Austin, and
Oh, right. Yeah.
they brought tons of jobs with them. So this whole
Yeah.
area, I'm about 2 or 3 hours from Austin. I'm near San
Yep.
Antonio, and they can't build the houses fast enough.
Really?
Just well,
Wow.
they're coming from the other countries down south. They're coming from
Yeah.
California. They're coming from up north. I came from New
Yep.
England. I came from Connecticut.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Texas is
I
moving.
did. Yeah, which is good. I did notice that with a lot of the fences in America, they're all flat out busy, to the point where they were struggling to get material. There was times there where they couldn't get any material at all, which actually happened here in Australia too.
No kidding.
We'd be short on material, but it's just a massive demand in building and that at the moment.
Yeah. Oh, so
Um,
so I was out in the outskirts of the city, and they're plowing out neighborhoods, street after
yeah,
street
right.
after street, and there's 60 homes on each street.
Yep.
There'll be two guys living two houses, the whole neighborhood that has people living in it. The next neighborhood, no windows. The supply chain got mixed up and they couldn't get any windows.
Ah,
They said, fuck it. And they just kept on building more houses. More and more houses, just house after. I was like, this is
bloody
insane. 1,000 houses, 300 of them have no windows.
are they coming back to put them in?
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy. I was
That's
like, wow.
crazy.
And they can't build them fast enough because the day they're done, there's someone to live in them.
Yeah, yeah. With so we call them estates over here, new estates where they build houses. I don't know what you call them, but are they building them on really small blocks now? The houses, like the size of the blocks are really small, or
Depends.
are they decent size?
It,
Yeah,
it, it depends. If you're going to pay about 200 to 350,000, they're about 2,000 square feet and about a third of an acre, maybe a half an acre.
oh wow, yeah,
If you want a little bit more land, if you want 2 or 3 acres and you want a 2 or 3 or 4,000 square foot home,
yeah,
it gets in the
yeah,
million.
yeah,
It gets in the million real quick. 600,
yeah.
seven hundred
Okay,
thousand, real quick. But if
yeah,
they're
yeah,
close together, about 200,000.
yeah. Okay. Over here, they're really small blocks, and the houses are really close. Where usually the garage will be touching the neighbour's garage,
No, not
and they
that bad.
just squeeze them all in and charge an absolute fortune for the land.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
yeah. And
Yeah,
people pay, man.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's well, where I'm living now. I moved here say 4 years ago. They had land for sale. It's a big sign, land for sale. It was 199,000 for a block of land, and then now, so within that 4 years, that land for sale now is probably 450, 400, 450,000 dollars.
What are our kids gonna do? How are our kids gonna buy a starter home?
It's yeah, it's I just can't see it happening. It's getting impossible.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going to happen. I think people will just be renting forever, nearly. You know,
that's what it looks
if
like.
nothing, if yeah, if something doesn't get passed down,
Yeah,
it's because you try and save. You got houses here where I am now. Probably for a new house, it might be say 800,000, 850,000. You probably need a deposit of over 100,000. You try and save that. With work and all other expenses, it's impossible.
yeah. Well, I bought my house 5 years ago, so I'm not gonna lie to
Yep.
you. I got a real good deal on it.
Yep.
So I'm okay, but I don't
Yeah.
see I don't see what my kids are going to do. I'd have to buy them land. The only way they're going to be able to is but I got 6 of them. How the hell am I going to do that? Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea how I'm going to do that.
I know.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. And cars aren't getting any cheaper either. Ooh.
So how much is like all the fences over there? They have the big Chevy. We call them utes, but you guys call them trucks.
Yeah.
The big Chevrolets. How much would one of those be? A brand new.
I say a Ford F350, Super Duty, crew cab, and the dualies. Oof.
Yep.
Fully loaded, you could pay well over $100,000.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's the same here. They're expensive. So, yeah.
Now, if you get a smaller one, like a F-150, 4-wheel drive, just the bench in the front, I think it's like 55, 60.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe 65.
Still a lot of money, though.
Yeah, that's no joke.
Like, it's. But I guess it's probably similar to say a normal ute, something like they used to have F100s here and F150s, but actually I think they still sell the F150s and 250s here. But to buy one of those over here, it would be well over 100 grand, an F150, 250, I reckon.
Really?
Yeah, just a normal brand new. We have like Hilux utes or say a Ford Ranger. They'd be up near 80 grand, I reckon.
Wow.
So,
yeah, you guys are paying. You guys are paying more, man. You guys are definitely paying more. Because I would say,
absolutely.
I think a brand new Tesla, like the low end one, I think it's 40 grand.
Is it really?
And like a brand new.
I don't know how much they're here, but they'd be more than that here for sure.
Yeah. And like a brand new Nissan, like a brand new Nissan Altima or something like that.
Yeah.
Somewhere between 40 and 60, depending on what the options are on it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I think you're doing better than us.
Yeah. So what is that? Did you guys print too much money too? Is that what happened? Okay.
Gotcha, mate.
There we go. One more time. Well, I want to be able to say goodbye properly. I don't want this to be like one of those things that just cuts off.
Cuts off. Yeah. Yep.
So
Nah, that's all good.
I'll be honest with you. It's great to have friends all over the world, man. And I always wanted to come to Australia. I had one friend that lived in Australia for a while. Then he ended up in Egypt years ago. Him and his wife. I think they went back to Australia. I don't remember. I lost touch with them. They're on Facebook somewhere. I got to say hi to them. But it's super cool to have people all over the world, man. Just to know what you're doing and see. We're just regular guys, man.
Yeah. No, I love it. It's great. And then and you just make more and more friends too, don't you? More connections and see, like in America, they have for fencing, they have like this fencing convention, which I'd like to go to one day. They have it like once a year.
Yeah, you should come, man.
You got experience.
Yes, you got to come. You got to come and see America.
Yeah,
because there's so much, man. We do. You have no idea. You got to go to Vegas. You got to go to Boston. You got to go. Yeah, you got to see it, man. You got to see it to believe it.
Yeah. Well, I've always wanted to go to Texas just to experience that.
Well, if you do that, you need to come over and at least have one beer with me.
Absolutely. We'll have more than one. Don't worry about that.
Okay. I just wanted an excuse to get you in the door. Cool, man. I'll show you the Alamo. I'll show you the Alamo where they fought the Mexicans.
Yes. Yeah. It'd be fascinating.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah. So, it's been good chatting to you as well. I appreciate you getting me on.
Absolutely.
Had fun.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
If you want, go ahead and tell everybody the name of your TikTok so they can come see it.
Yep. So it's the Fence Guru. Jump on, give me a follow, watch our vids, and we do a lot of lives too. So we'll interact with you. So the Fence Guru.
Very cool, man. Fence Guru. I appreciate it, man.
Yep. Awesome. All right, mate.
You have a great.
Shining, don't get my vibe.